morning, Northern Virginia Community College faculty. My name is Nicole Mancini, and I am here to present a topic to you about adopting innovative technology, more of a support session, if you will. So today we're going to talk about the different technology initiatives and how we bridge the gap between the people that are gung-ho about using these technology initiatives and jumping all in, and maybe those that are a little apprehensive about using that technology. Maybe they're unsure about it, or they're unclear of how the technology is going to work with their classrooms. So we're going to talk about those different adopters and how we can support them. So the different kinds of adopters out there. So the innovators are the ones that are willing to try new things. They're oftentimes the ones who bring the new technology in from the outside. They're not necessarily the most well-respected group by their colleagues, as they're often the adventurous ones. They often have really close relationships with people outside the system, but they're really good at that complex technical knowledge, all right? Your early adopters in the group are the leaders of the social system. They're the ones who put their stamp of approval on this new technology. Typically, they're the role models in the system, and other members of the social system really come to them for advice, for information about the new technology. So their attitude about this technology can really decrease the uncertainty about the innovation. The early majority adopters are not necessarily the leader of the system, but they're a pretty social member of the system who does not want to be the first to really adopt the new technology, but they definitely don't want to be the last ones either. Interpersonal networks are important to this group, which may be why they're hesitant to adopt at first. So they'll take a little bit more time than innovators and early adopters to see the benefits of the new technology, but eventually they will transfer over and start using that new technology without any issues. Your late majority adopters are the last third of the social system, the ones who have waited until their peers adopted the new technology and took some persuading to do so. These are your skeptics. They were really unsure of the outcomes, but eventually they have come over and they've started adopting that new technology, and they're getting their feet wet a little bit. The last group is the laggards. This is the ones that are the last ones to adopt the technology. They're the biggest skeptics of all of them, and they really want to make sure that the technology works before they adopt it. They want to make sure all those kinks are out of the way, all the issues, the technological issues, the problems are all taken care of before they jump in and start using it. These people aren't necessarily the leaders of the social system, and they often really only associate with those people that are within their same category. The decision-making period for them to jump into adopting new technology or innovation is a very, very long time. So how do we utilize those innovators, the early adopters, the early majority, the first three groups there? So your innovators, your early adopters, and the early majority can really be a big help when it comes to adopting that new technology. Some of the reasons why is that they have strong leadership. So they can be really convincing. Your early adopters are your leaders in your social system, in your educational system. So people really look to them for opinions and for advice. They have really good technical knowledge, which this can also help put others' mind at ease. So those innovatives, like I said, have complex technical knowledge, so others might look to them for that piece of the tool there. They have really good relationships with the social system, which can help connect that new system, with the new technology, and that would be your early majority group. Their stamp of approval is what signifies their support and their enthusiasm for this. Like I said, those leaders, those early adopters in the social system, they're the ones that say, all right, let's try this new innovative tool and see if it works. They know how to cope with the uncertainty surrounding the innovation. So your innovators are the ones that brought the tool in from the outside. So they're the ones that can maybe answer some questions, clear up any problems people might have, because they're the ones that are probably the most knowledgeable about this specific innovation. And then their sense of deliberation can help put others' mind at ease. So those early majority didn't jump right in right away. They took a little while to evaluate the situation, So people might trust them because they did take a little bit longer to jump in to try to use it. So that sense of deliberation might help people in like, okay, this person didn't jump all in right away. They evaluated some of the reviews, some of the sources beforehand, and learned some good training tools before they jumped in. So I feel pretty confident knowing that this person finally decided to go all in. So according to the ISTE standards for education leaders, leaders create a culture where the teachers and learners are empowered to use technology in innovative ways to enrich teaching and learning. And what I mean here is that that leader of the educational system, they can really help build that confidence, that competence in using the technology. So your early adopters are going to be the ones that are really going to be the backbone for this this innovative technology that you're trying to incorporate on campus. They're not only the support, they not only support the innovation, they're the ones that are going to set up the professional development opportunities so teachers can feel at ease. And they too might be a little bit outside their comfort zone, but the fact that they are trying it as well shows that they're willing to try something new so that others may feel a little bit like that as well. And ultimately, their leadership is what's going to inspire those innovators to seek out the new types of technology in the first place. When they support the social system and the faculty and the teachers, it makes it more apparent that they want them to seek out these new, awesome, amazing tools to use inside the classroom. In John 20:26 through 29, Jesus tells Thomas to put your finger here. See my hands? Reach out your hand and put it into my side. Stop doubting and believe. He then goes on to state how Thomas has seen him and he is blessed to have done so. And because believing is so easy when you can see something, it can often be more challenging to believe something you've never seen. And that's where those innovators, those early adopters, and those early majority can really assist the late majority and the laggards. Maybe they haven't seen firsthand how amazing the innovation may be, or maybe they trust that it will be. Either way, their seeing or believing will help convince those who have not seen that there's nothing to be scared of. Just as those of us here on earth have never seen Jesus, we still believe that he is there. Just because we might not be able to see all the outcomes of the innovation or that technological tool, we have to believe that these innovators have brought something awesome to the table for us to use, and we have to put some trust in that. So how do we support the late majority and laggards? So many studies have been done to test the Rogers diffusion of innovations theory, and according to this research, some ways that we can support the late majority or laggards are just accessing the technology, having access to it early, and getting training, offering trainings up so that, this will help them feel more confident. Oftentimes the access early on and that training are the best predictors of whether the late majority and the laggards are actually going to adopt the technology. That early access, maybe creating a sandbox course if it's a new learning management system, or giving examples of how to incorporate that innovation into their classroom. This would be a nice, helpful way to show them firsthand how it can be used. Another way that you can, help that late majority and those laggards would be to offer some incentives. Training programs and incentives have been very successful in breaking down the barriers. So this is just one way to kind of give them a little extra push to start to adopt that. Some examples of incentives that you might give the late majority or laggards might include merit pay, stipends, release time, or maybe some tenure considerations. One of the biggest things that I would propose doing is to offer assistance by having IT staff available 24/7 during those first couple weeks of implementing that new technological tool. This will just help to put people's trouble at ease, knowing that they can call somebody anytime and they'll get help right away from a real person and not a computerized system, to kind of walk them through that new innovative tool. In the Bible, they say, the Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. So it's up to us to go before those who are hesitant and lead the way. We cannot show fear in using technology. We have to embrace it and show that late majority and the laggards that it's all right and that the Lord is with us, guiding us on our journey together. So, in modeling Christ, when it comes to this, it is important to lead our system in the way that models Christ, because he's placed us all here on earth with a purpose. Our strengths are what make us unique, but they are also here to assist us and assist others who may need it. So when it comes to bridging that gap between that technology initiative and those people within that educational system, it can be tough and it can be time consuming. Like I said, it's going to take a little while for some of those people to finally adopt it. However, we can't just give up. We have to endure these tough times. Just as our Lord endured tough times, he has paved the way for us, and we must in turn pave the way for those who may be apprehensive or resistant. We can't give up on him. In Proverbs 3:5-6, he says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths." He will help us. He will guide us. He will straighten the path to that new initiative. He has brought this initiative to us. He has given us this tool, encouraging us to use it, so we can't be afraid to jump in and use this amazing resource that he has given to us. Here are my references for today's presentation. If you should have any questions, feel free to reach out to me via email. Have a great day. Thank you.